Uber launches a new app for temp workers, but isn't that what they've been doing all this time?
Xbox,
Twitter, Uber,
Postmates,
Netflix, MoviePass,
Google, Facebook, eBay,
DoorDash,
Apple, Amazon, Airbnb,
The Apptrepreneur. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur, and if this is your first time here and you like the video that you see and you want more content like it, click the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. We upload pretty much on a daily basis here. Now then, let's talk about this new app that Uber is launching. Uber launches staffing business in Chicago. So maybe I was wrong about them relocating to Chicago. Maybe they were simply expanding, maybe doing this. I don't know. But it's kind of interesting to look at this because what this is, in essence, is this is a temporary worker app. Now, I don't know how many of you have ever had to work a temp job before. I've had to work a temp job before. Katie had to work a temp job before. It's usually something that everyone has to do once in their life. And let's be honest, they suck. They absolutely suck. In most cases, they're temporary jobs for a reason because very few people want to make them full-blown careers. They're usually not very good work. They usually don't pay very well. I mean, if they paid well, we'd probably put up with, the BS of it a little bit more. But they usually aren't. They usually pay minimum wage and they're stressful. Katie's last temp job was, in fact, a calling center job. So that should give you an idea what these kinds of jobs are like. Also, a lot of warehouse work. I did warehouse work for I think a week or two, and then I kind of decided, look, I found another job really quickly. Let's put it that way. And yet Uber wants to get in on this. Now, here's the thing. This actually makes a lot of sense for Uber to get into. Because, first of all, temp work being what it is, an app makes sense. An app makes sense for temporary work because people who need to find a job and they need to find it quickly, they usually they don't want to go to a building and a business, fill out paperwork. So hey, you know what? The idea of let's download this app, let's put in what we're looking for, and let's just see what kind of temp jobs are out there. And we will actually just go and select a job. Now, of course, what's funny about this thing is the example they show is prep cook. They have a description about the role, prep and assemble food according to a recipe, strong knife skills, follow directions well, work well with minimal supervision. Shift details, the shift requires you wear black slacks, black non-slip shoes, and a black button-up shirt. I like how the wage is $14 an hour, and you're going to work 7 hours and 30 minutes for a gross pay of $105. I am assuming they're not taking taxes out of this for you, so you might have to factor that in. I think it's funny how they advertise a $14 an hour thing. I'm surprised they're not advertising a $21 job hour because that's what Uber likes to do. They like to say, hey, we can bring you a job and you're in control. But let's look at this real quick. So, after more than a year in stealth mode, Uber, which became synonymous with gig economy, is launching a staffing business in Chicago on Friday to supply on-demand workers to other companies. The new business, called Uber Works, has been in stealth mode in Chicago for more than a year. It's the second business outside Uber's original on-demand taxi service based in Chicago. Now, here's another interesting thing about this. Uber's been making the claim that they're a technology company. They're not a transportation company, yet everything they do is about transportation. Well, this app, this Uber Works, which, by the way, we have talked about before. I just want to acknowledge, this isn't a new thing. They're just now officially launching it. This technically might not have to do with transportation, so they might legally be able to start making that argument very, very soon. I'd like to see them still justify their argument that the drivers aren't important. I'd like to see them justify that even more now that they're launching a temporary workers app, but, whatever. Let's see here. Uber Freight, an on-demand trucking platform, is run from Chicago, where the company plans to add 2,000 jobs as it moves into the old post office downtown. Uber Works will be led by Audrey Liskovich. He declined to specify how many employees the unit will have, but said, we plan to grow rapidly, because that's what Uber does, obviously. Uber's move into temporary staffing is not entirely surprising. At its core, Uber is a mobile app that allows workers to find jobs driving people from one place to another. Yeah, and in a sense, Uber drivers are in some form, way or another, the ultimate temporary workers. They get on usually to get a bonus, and once they've got that bonus and they've kind of found something else, they move on, unless you're really dedicated to the craft, which, since this is launching in Chicago, might not have a hard time finding people who are dedicated to Uber to this. Temporary staffing is slightly different because employers need workers for defined shifts. Uber will partner with staffing agencies, starting with TrueBlue, oh, I've heard of them, to handle the paperwork for employment screening, verification, and payroll. Meanwhile, Chicago has become a test bed of sorts for the gig economy. Shift Gig, which started as an online site for workers, is the hospitality business, ultimately morphed into a contract staffing agency that supplied temporary workers for industries as varied as retail and warehousing. The company ultimately sold off its staffing business to focus on tech. Blue Crew, a competitor acquired by IAC that moved to Chicago this year, employs its own workers, and Chicago-based food ordering and delivery company Grubhub, which has also become a significant player in the gig economy, treats its drivers as independent contractors. I love how they worded it, treats their workers like independent contractors. Like, even this article, Crane Chicago Business, like, yeah, we all know that's nonsense. So, anyway, and yes, they are avoiding the official employer of the workers. They definitely want to avoid that. And the fact that they're actually partnering with other staffing agencies, they could probably make a pretty good argument that they're a middleman. And here's the thing with staffing agencies. Staffing agencies have a really rough time getting clients, because what they have to do is they have to go to a business, a building. They have to knock on their door, and they have to hand like a card. And they have to say, is anyone handling your staffing? We would like to provide our services, and hope that they get a meeting with whoever runs the place so that they can have that option, and they don't have to put like their own clock-in system. I actually have a lot of experience with this. In another lifetime, maybe another dimension, I might have had to deal with these people. You never know. But and I don't want to disparage them. I mean, they're very nice people. They're just trying to do their job. But the thing is, it's a hassle. So by making it app-based, and a lot of people use Uber, I think a lot of companies, Uber might be able to effectively become like the strong middleman for these companies. I think a lot of companies might, in fact, even 2 years ago when I started Uber, I was talking to Pastor Mike, who ultimately ended up marrying me and Katie. And I told him, like, the way this is going right now, with like delivery and everything, I could see a future where like Roundtable, Domino's, they don't hire full-time drivers anymore. They just hire gig workers. They do it through like the DoorDash app. And he was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. And then of course, once I found out exactly how they're going to be paying, like I'm much more against that. Now, I don't know. Will you be making $14 an hour? I doubt it. I think most of these jobs are going to be minimum wage and thankless and not very satisfying. I just think that's what it's going to be, because they typically are. That's what they are. But it makes sense for Uber to really get into this. I think that their company could actually benefit quite a bit from this. And I mean, if they really are just the middleman and they basically just collect a fee for every job that people accept through them, then this might become a profitable business for them. It just might. And interestingly, it seems to be a separate app. It's not part of Uber's operating system of your life app, which we've talked about quite a bit. I mean, look, see, there's value to have like a separate app for things. But that said, I'm kind of curious. What do all of you think? Would any of you find temporary work with Uber Works? Or would you not, and why not? I would love to know. So, comment below, like, favorite, share. And if you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. Also, if gas prices get you a little down, check out the Get Upside app below. It's totally free, but you get cash back on every gas purchase. If you want more content from me, check out my other YouTube channels, Kevin T. Rodriguez, the Apptrepreneur Vlogs, and Autograph Hound. And finally, if you want to talk to me personally or other, gig economy people out there, check us out on Facebook at the Apptrepreneur Hangouts. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.